Hello Ma, welcome to another Sunday Collective everyone with Renooji and me Divvya. How are you Ma? Jai Mata Di.
Jai Mata Di.
Jai Mata Di.
Jai Mata Di. Really enjoying your Sunday afternoon. And in some places it could be Sunday morning.
Or Saturday night.
Saturday night as well.
Could it? Maybe in Australia? Like early
No,
morning?
it would be Monday.
Oh, would it be Monday? Okay.
No, it's Sunday night.
Sunday night.
Late night.
Late night.
Yes.
So,
And
hi
they're
Sonia
resting.
Didi, Sat Shri Akal. Buffering issue. We're just having a slight buffering issue. Hi everyone. Please do bear with us. The intraweb is it?
Thing.
Yes.
Energy has its own aura. And it's so individual.
Yes.
And it loves to take everything by storm
Absolutely.
and grow with the light.
Absolutely.
And then what happens when it grows with the light? It makes its magic.
I was
And then everybody says, oh wow, it's so nice, my nose is itching and I really need to do this. And the strangest part of it is that we are very comfortable in whatever we are thinking, we're doing, we're saying. The difference between saying and speaking. Saying is some information that you're conveying to somebody, and speaking is that you're just speaking for the fun of it, just making noise.
Oh.
Yeah. It's so much fun. People
Okay,
come
so-
and they just chatter away, not making any sense.
So that would be speaking? Yes, ma.
An old saying.
Yes, yes.
So that saying means that it's transferring some information of great knowledge
And energy.
and energy, and it's something that has been spoken in relevance to something. And then that relevance is continuous, and it can be implemented again and again and again. So it's called quotations.
Quotation. So in a way, when we say something, it always has to, it's assumed that we're saying something that has meaning. Okay.
But people make a lot of noise.
And when we're just speaking,
And we're just speaking.
chattering.
Yes. Just doing.
So now all of us are chattering, and you
most
are
of the
saying.
time.
And we can't
No, I
wait to
think
hear
some
what
of
all
the
you
questions
say.
are also sayings. And those sayings are also very, very interesting sometimes. Those questions and those inquisitive words. And then some of them are so repetitive
Yes, ma.
that it becomes like a chatter. Of course, sometimes it's just, you're just saying it because, you're pretending to be good to somebody or to yourself. And speaking can also be that you keep repeating again and again that I'm so bad.
Oh.
So that I'm so bad can impact. I'm going to come into why I'm talking about saying and speaking, because it impacts different parts of your aura anatomy. And then it generates great laughter and of your body who just come together to create a chatter of their own, and then they throw it out into your aura body.
Okay.
And then your aura body says that, why did this happen? Why did I attract this negative energy? Why did I get this disease? Why did I have kidney failure? Why did I have cancer? Why do I have COVID? Why do I have ill health in any form? It could be a simple headache, it could be a migraine, it could be a brain tumor. There could be so many different manifestations of the disease, but they all start with speaking.
Yes, ma'am.
They don't come from saying. They're not coming from heartfelt information that you're sharing with another. That's why in the olden days people used to say that silence is bliss. And in Hindi they used to say ki ek chup to so sukh. You speak one sentence less, and then you're going to have so much more magic in your life, because people are going to be so informative, and they're going to be sharing so much with you, and you're going to be continuously conjecturing about what and many times you think after you've had a conversation that, oh my God, I had such a long conversation. What was he really saying? Or what was she trying to tell me? And if that happens, that means that they haven't really said anything. They're only speaking. And that can leave you with a lot of remorse and regret, because you may think that you were in a conversation and you didn't really understand. And then sometimes children will throw a tantrum. I've seen this so often in kids who will come to a healing session with me, and the parents are trying to inform me about something that they think is very solid, and they're saying something. But the children just turn around and say, you don't understand me. You just don't get me. You don't know me. Because the child is really saying something. But the parents don't have the ears to hear, let alone listen. Because I know that hearing and listening is also a function of speaking and saying. So speaking is hearing, saying is listening. So when you speak, you are hearing. It's like the bird. It's tweeting on the tree and everybody can hear it. And then there's a mother or a father or your boss who's saying something and you're listening. Listening means that you pay complete attention, and it's followed with an action of change, initiating great change within you and your environment. So you have to continue to do things. You have to continue to hear yourself. You have to continue to listen to yourself. That's why sometimes I do tell people that, why don't you record what you're saying and listen to it, in that moment, and give it like 2 days and then listen to it again. And they think that it's a terrible experiment, because they'll try to convince me that they should really say this to their father, their mother-in-law, their boss, or even in the new job, in the interview, that's what they should say. And I tell them, then why don't you practice? Why don't you tape what you're going to say and then listen to it? And they're shocked at what they hear. And then after 2 days, they say, oh my God, was that really what I was going to say? It's just not the correct thing to say. So, we can continuously look at the structure of our thoughts. We can look at the structure of our speech. We can look at the structure of information that we are trying to communicate. And I know that a lot of people say to me, oh, we are not great communicators. But I've always told them that if you listen to your heart, the divine has given you a mind, and in that you add just 2 more things for information. And one is that you add your eyes and you add your ears. So your eyes are going to see the truth and your ears are going to listen. And then all the speaking and saying becomes relevant. Sometimes, I'm not saying that it's wrong to speak. Sometimes you can just be speaking for, yesterday I was seeing somebody, and they said that in India there's a very good, way to attract attention to yourself. You can just go into the market square and you can point into the sky and you can say, see, I see something. And minimum 100 people will gather around the person and will also start looking in the sky to see what they have to see. And they will not see anything, but the person will be speaking something and they will hear and they will be inquisitive and they will look. Their eyes will look, but they will not get what he's saying and not see what he's seeing, but they will pretend. So in the speaking and the hearing, there is a lot of pretending. In the saying and listening, there is a structure of great togetherness, an exchange of information that is understandable, and you go away from the experience having learned something more. And all this is not just happening with the body, it's not just happening with your mouth, that you're speaking with your tongue, it's not that you're just seeing with your eyes, but it is happening in the aura. What happened?
Nothing, ma'am. I'm just listening very attentively.
All right. So tell me, what are your
So-
questions?
No, I was just waiting
Okay.
for just that. Yes, all of this is happening in the aura.
Yeah.
And so when we are, so
Mm.
what is the aura for those people who are joining in who may
Yeah.
not know what an aura is? Could you describe
yeah,
it to us?
I can state it that it's the life force or the structure of the anatomy of your physical body and your aura body that is different. That when somebody dies, the body is perfectly still visible, right? There is some essential life or breath that is moving away from that physical body. And that in Vedic understanding, we say that unke pran nikal gaye, or the life force has left that body. So that pranamay kosh, or that body of energy that is surrounding that sheath that is covering, or that light body that's covering the physical body, is what is ascending, is disappearing, and is leaving the body for the structure of your inner self to remain and to travel with the light and to go, and for the physical body to be left, either to be buried as seen fit by individual.
So to be buried, cremated, or dispensed with as seen fit. And in Hindi or Sanskrit, we call it kosh.
Because it is the energy giving body to the physical body that is giving, that has intelligence, that has understanding, that has information, that has stability. And Dr. Kirlian was the first person to invent a camera that could actually photograph the energy field, and it is recorded in, even a plant has an aura body, even a non-living object has an aura body, and even a physical being, whether it's a dog, butterfly, cat, tiger, human being, cow, everybody has an energy field around them that is structured, which can there are many sheets of the body. Pranamay kosh is a collective whole that we talk about, but there could be the Annamay kosh, which is the health or the food grain body, which is the physical body. Then there is the Anandamay kosh, that is the bliss body. There can be the Pranamay kosh, then the Manomay kosh. There are many different sheets or layers of this auric field, and I always like to connect people to the 7 basic sheets of the body. So the first one is a little sheath of red, which is connecting you to your root chakra or your purpose of life. Then is the mental body at the orange chakra, which is the sacral plexus or the hara, and that is the creative impulse of every human or living being. And then we have the solar plexus, which is yellow, which is the health giving sheath of energy. And then you have the Premamaya kosh, which is the unconditional loving energy that's coming from the green and pink fields of your heart. Then the Jnanamaya kosh, which is coming from the combination of the third eye and the throat, where you are having the intelligence and you are speaking it. That your sound is coming from that essential self of intelligence. And the Anandamaya kosh, which is at the crown chakra, which is a silver platinum light with purple and mauve and all. And all these structured together become the Pranamaya kosh. And that is the pranadhan, the valuable, essential energy of the gift of the divine that we get at the impulse of creation. So the mother and father are constantly, structured, not just, the semen that's going to go and impregnate and is going to create life, but there's also an energy transference, and the intimate act there is that the wife is giving some of her negative energies away, and the father's giving her. She's the receptor of all the positive energy, and that energy grows and grows. Element, then we have definitely a lot of you know volatile energy, nuclear energy that's developing in the woman's body. And at the time of creation, when the soul is created, she gives a lot of her energy to build that body. She eats and she's like in a very different zone. And at the time of birth, her energy field is divided into 50-50, and that 50 goes as the pranamaya kosh of the new soul of the baby. If it's twins, it's divided into 3 equal parts. If it's triplets, then you have 4 equal parts. So you can just imagine it like that. And it's like segments of the pizza or the cake, whatever. And this energy takes 40 days to rebuild in the physical and the aura body.
So, is this only for mothers who are biologically giving birth? Or is it also like when people have surgeries, or you might have a little cut or a bruise or chemotherapy? So, anytime that the aura or your pranmaya kosh is depleted, it takes 40 days for it to really rebuild. Okay, wow. And
then the soul, that's why that you must take great care of yourself for 40 days. And so the mother has to rebuild, and the child also has to rebuild the energies to sustain that life and to make it grow. And so it's very important to understand that this energy is at the top of your head. It's coming directly from the source of divine intervention that is giving the first cry of the soul and the first breath, and that light descends individually to create an independent pranamaya kosh. And it is very sustaining life. Sometimes we do have people, women giving birth and having a stillbirth, because that spark of ignition and the descent of that energy was not sufficient to sustain that life. And sometimes at childbirth, even mothers pass away, that they don't have sufficient energy. So that's why I tell all pregnant women to do a lot of self-development, walk, spend time with nature, and to increase their own pranamaya kosh, because there are 2 distinct energies. One is the life giving energy itself, and the other is the life sustaining energy that comes from the 5 elements. And the life force itself comes from the crown chakra, like I said, is the platinum light. And of course, the pranamaya kosh energies of life sustaining come from the 5 elements, which enter every living being through the navel. The umbilical cord that they have with the physical life mother or mother earth, or the 5 elements. And those energies also help greatly to increase your energy field.
That is such helpful, I think, information, and really something new that I kind of have learned today, about how this 40-day connection is not only for those giving birth and for the child, that is the newborn baby, but for all of us whenever our aura body or our pranmaya kosh is in depletion. And so we've talked about like a physical sort of trauma, which could be, a surgery
Physical.
or a physical bump or bruise or cut or, whatever accident in a worst case scenario. But as today, 10th of October, is World Mental Health Day.
Yeah.
And this whole week is going to be dedicated, by mental health practitioners and governments and policymakers and, of course, the WHO, that are looking at promoting awareness and destigmatizing, mental health issues, as well as for citizens and people of the world to sort of have access and reach out to mental health practitioners
Or healers.
or healers. Yes, absolutely, or healers. So my question is that when someone has a psychological trauma, because you have healed across the board, when you see their aura, is it the same sort of trauma that a physical injury would have? Is it different? Is it even in maybe it's, I would imagine, like more sort of raw, like the healing would be maybe deeper to. So could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's the same when I started, and I said it's the differences between speaking and saying.
Yes.
That, a lot of people who are, going through an emotional trauma or a mental trauma, or they are, trying to recreate that. Basically, I find that at least 90% of them have been traumatized, or I even say vandalized, by people who really proclaim that they love them. Saying, and the other people are pretending that they're just speaking.
So the person who's being traumatized or
is
saying that
saying,
stop or don't do this,
or love me, or I'm feeling insufficiency of love,
or I need
I'm
help.
feeling, or I'm not feeling well, and then people could say, oh, it's tantra, and oh, it's just the evil eye of your aunt, you'll get okay.
Or
It
in India,
won't
they'll say like go for a walk and your depression will go
lift
away.
or have a
I
bath.
find that so ridiculous.
Yeah.
So yes, I mean, if in a normal situation, if someone is experiencing what is within a normal bandwidth of, like, maybe they're upset, so maybe yes, fresh air would give you a clearer head. Long-term
Yeah.
depression or repeated long-term
episodes.
or a deep feeling of sadness which they just cannot explain and cannot
Yeah.
heal, then
That's
they do
why-
need intervention and help.
That's why it's very important that therapy
Yes.
is very important, and it really works for a lot of people, because they're coming to a platform where, without judgment, the other person is listening to what they're saying.
Yes.
Understanding.
Yes.
And that is, half the battle is won already.
So they're not just hearing them,
Yeah,
they're listening.
They're listening
And the
to
person
them.
gets an opportunity to
To
speak their
real truth.
real truth that
and
will then transform
validate.
into their
New
own
energy.
saying of what is
Yeah.
their energetic reality.
And then they are, not, there is no anxiety, there's no stress, there's no frustration, there's no helplessness, because they have found somebody who's going to validate what they're feeling and help them find a solution. And sometimes, I think in 5 or 7% of the cases, they do need some medical intervention, which is also thyroid or diabetes. There can be a nutritional lack of something which needs to be
rebalanced in the brain, and so people are taking that medication.
But I have found that predominantly when the person comes to a stage where they are saying and the other person is listening, they're already very calm, and their energy field suddenly develops and grows, and they don't feel so suffocated. The energy field of the person is very, very close to the physical body.
Okay, sorry, we were just... yes, Ma. So we're back. So Ma was just telling everyone, if you had a little bit of a buffering at your end, as we did, that Ma was just saying, ma'am, I request you to repeat that about people who are having a panic attack or anxiety.
They are actually feeling very suffocated, and they're having a panic attack because their aura is shrinking and it's coming near to them, and they think that it's an enemy. But the reality is just speaking to them initially, and then it's just saying that do something because you have insufficient energy. And I can give 3 quick fixes for this.
Yes, please.
The first is to do deep breathing. When you're having that kind of anxiety, drink some water, because water is a great, great promoter of pranic energy. Because remember, it's one of the 5 elements, and breathing is the air element. So, air and water will really charge up your aura body. The second is to have a saltwater bath. Even in traditions in the past, even to have to prepare for being intimate with your husband meant to go to a bathing ghat, or to even some
Like a hammam.
hammam, or some
Yes.
where there was heat and there was salt water, and there was inner development of consciousness, where you were connecting to your real essential self. And then in some traditions, people would even go and pledge under a tree that they were going to be intimate for the welfare of the world, to create an offspring that would be very. So, why the tree? The tree is a basic generator, essential generator of the 5 material energies, because the tree is planted firmly on Mother Earth, so the earth element is very strong. There's photosynthesis happening in the kitchen, which is the leaves of the plant. So, there's an exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide. So, the air prana and the sun prana and the earth prana, and then there's water prana, and there is always space is being created for these 5 energies to come together to create a charming, explosive energy of growth. So, if you go and sit on a tree and you breathe very deeply, or even near a plant, I've seen that in indoor plants as well. If somebody has a nice indoor plant on the center table, everybody's energies are multiplying, and it's like a generator of good fortune. So I always encourage people to keep plants in the house. Either they can be in water or they can be in soil, earth, and it really brings great power. And another thing to fix your mental health very quickly is to write what you're feeling and then to burn that piece of paper. Not leave it around for other people to read, but to pour out your heart and then to burn it. And so it's consigned to flame. So the negative thoughts begin to shrink in the aura, and that fire element is destroying all the pain, the anguish, the hurt, the anxiety, and it's replenishing it with lot of strength. So that I would say is a quick fix
Quick fix.
for somebody who's mentally not feeling so strong.
So strong. And then we have Parul. Hi, Parul. She says, Dear ma'am, how can other people who are not necessarily pregnant increase their pranmaya kosh? So, ma'am, you talked about certain foods and exercise. Like, could you tell us a little bit more?
I'm just increasing. I think the quickest way to increase your pranamaya kosh is first and foremost to really listen to your thoughts. Because if you're just chattering, speaking without concrete information, you are just depleting, unsupported. There's no imminent danger in your life, but you're still feeling that there's a danger. So that energy is shrinking. The second thing is that, wherever is your purpose, if you are looking at creating a new business and generating your real purpose of life, then red and orange fruits are very important. So, what are the red and orange fruits, Divya?
Red and orange fruits is starting with oranges, plums, cherries, strawberries, peaches, all your clementines, your anar. What else is red and orange? You have locust if it's in season. That's orange. It has a very high vitamin C. And you have nectarines and any of the, I guess the vitamin C family would be within this range.
Very
and
strong.
of course, anar, which is pomegranate, is one of my favorite.
Yeah.
And plums.
And what about some tomato curries?
Yes,
and some
tomato is actually also a fruit. We eat it like a vegetable, but yes, it's a fruit. So tomatoes are beautiful.
Soup.
Tomato soup and
Carrots.
carrots. And I was just thinking what other things are orange. So yeah, if anybody else can think of any
Papaya.
papaya, yes,
And
and
even some
watermelon is red
watermelon and also some musk melons, which are a little bit
like a
yellowish,
honeydew. Honeydew,
orangish, pinkish orange.
beautiful. Yes. So there
Mhm.
we've got a long list,
Yeah.
Parul. So you can start.
And cranberries.
Of course, cranberries, karondas also. Yes.
Yeah. So you can eat all those. And the second thing is that if you're looking at your vital energies increasing without putting food in your mouth, then you have to meditate on your navel chakra. So, navel chakra meditation means that when you have a bath, pay special attention that it's clean and neat, and then you meditate on the air prana. So, how will you meditate on the air prana? We're meditating on your breath. So, taking a deep breath in and out, and it's your navel chakra resonates with the pink and white light, predominantly white. So, what are the white foods that are very important? So, there's milk, there's rice, there's sugar, there's salt, there's so many flours, and
Amaranth
amaranth.
during the Navratris,
Yes,
the amaranth,
Rajgiri, yeah.
Rajgiri, and even sago,
All
tapioca
white
pearl,
tapioca pearl.
yes, cassava root flour, yes.
So all these white lovely foods, yogurts, curds, whatever is white and whatever attracts you, you can go and eat that. And the most important, drink lots of water, because water is very white and clear. So you can really just replenish your body with the white energies. Now, supposing that you're feeling very depleted because you have a lack of response of love from someone, right? So then you can mix the white with a green food. So I remember once telling somebody that you should just eat spinach and rice for a few days. And they said, really? I said, yeah, it's going to replenish all your chakras, it's going to build vital energy in your aura, and you're going to be really healthy. And they said, okay, so I'll try it. And they came back in a week to say that everything in their relationship was so much better.
Wow.
So it could be a kiwi with the banana, it could be rice with spinach, it could be, ghee, tori, any kind of vegetable.
It could be palak paneer.
Yeah.
Yes, it would really be delicious. So I think that is a really extensive answer, and you've given us really great
and
tips. Yes.
When we talk about exam time, exam time,
Yes.
it's traditional that people will eat yogurt and
So yes, yogurt and sugar is
Sugar
considered
just-
very auspicious in India
So
too.
what do you think it does? It opens up our heart chakra and our throat, the sugar, and of course the yogurt is sitting in our navel and it's activating, and this power is coming, and we are going to be really supersonic, and we're going to be able to remember everything, and we're going to be able to just flow with the knowledge in the exam. Purple foods
Yes, and then all the purple foods. Yes, ma'am.
come up in our third eye chakra to increase more knowledge and to make us more intelligent. So you can talk about all kinds of plums and beetroots and brinjals, aubergines, and surrounding yourself, even wearing purple clothes. How did I forget? It's not just about eating. You can also be wearing certain clothes, colors that could accentuate and rejuvenate and strengthen your aura body and create great power for you to install a new you within yourself that has great leanings towards goodness and compassion, and everything is about.
Everything is about celebration,
Yeah.
especially this celebratory season that has started here in
with
India.
the Navratri.
With the Navratris. And so we have Sakshi who asks that, Ma, is there any special salt which could work better to clear negative energies for a salt water bath? Any salt, if you have sea salt that's readily available, that's great. Rock salt or then normal salt, Tata salt, 1 teaspoon, 2 teaspoons, it's more than enough.
In a bucket
In a bucket of water, yes.
I could
And
have imagination of people taking the salt and just rubbing it in
that could be a good scrub. Sometimes I do
sugar
that
and
with
salt,
sugar and
but
salt.
with some water in it, not
Yes.
just dry.
No, so sugar, salt, and a little bit rose water, or then you can do salt and honey and rose water also, and
For a
lemon juice
great,
for a great
great
face
facelift.
exfoliator. Yes.
Yes.
And so Mohit is also saying yes, papaya. Well, I think that I'm just scrolling because I missed a few questions. But yeah, this is such an interesting journey that we're going on to understand that actually what is the vibration of our aura, that is actually like the way that you're describing it to me, it seems like it's a balloon.
Yeah, but can I just have that bottle and show
Yes.
people where you're drinking your water
Yes,
from?
ma. I'm feeling very
This-
thirsty today.
This is silver. So
Yes.
silver is also white and the color of water, which is
Yes.
activating the navel. And Divya is very cleverly drinking from this bottle,
Orange
which
bottle.
is orange,
Yes.
and she is activating a creative process.
Yes, I didn't know that. It's just
Yeah.
being intuitive and instinctive. So yes, so even water filled in an orange
Orange
or red
bottle,
bottle gives
it
us the same
gives us
energy
the
as
same
the fruit and
energy.
vegetables.
Yes, yes,
Wow.
Everything is transforming. The sheet that you're sleeping on, the pillow, just wearing even gems and stones people wear to increase certain vibrations of energy. And I can come to the planets and the colors and the frequencies that they generate in our body in a little while. But to basically understand that you are responsible for everything that you create in your aura body.
I think that is the $1,000,000 sentence for today, Ma. Really,
Yes.
that we are responsible for everything
Happens in
that
your
is
aura
happening
body.
in our aura body, and
And then
nobody
it
else.
transforms into your physical body. So in your aura body, everything stays for 3 years before it impacts your physical body. It takes 3 years for the energy from your aura body to travel like a serpent
Yeah.
and to enter into your body in different parts and to create feeling good or feeling bad energies. So I have a gentleman who's been in hospital because he has some lung problem, and because he has a lung problem, he has an appetite problem, and then he has an appetite problem, and he's feeling very weak, and he's not liking the flavor of anything and everything. And the more weak he's becoming, the more in his mind, there is a lack of sodium and potassium imbalances and all, and he's feeling really ill.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
a good a cup full of fruit or vegetables, and with maybe some bread or potato is a very healthy a meal for keeping your body replenished with all the minerals and elements and generating. So whatever you
Yes, ma'am.
that I'm very intuitive in my eating.
Yes,
So sometimes we adjust
because of the
the internet.
internet. So sorry guys, we just are back now. So Ma was just saying that a lot of people do say that they eat intuitively, but sometimes being repetitive in those intuitive patterns could actually be harmful
And creating disease.
and create disease. So we must, even if like every day you get up and you feel like having a banana, maybe yes, have it for a
3,
few
4
days,
times a
3-4
week.
times a week, and then try and change to a different fruit or a different food group, and maybe have a different breakfast every day. Or if you're having lentils and rice, which
So
is
have
quite
a
a
date.
staple, or
Yeah.
you could have a date, you could have a khajur, you could change the
Apple.
lentils that you're, the pulses and the dals or the vegetables or even the meats. And if you're eating
Eggs
egg,
and
you try
fish.
cooking it in a different
Different
way
way.
every day. So
And wear different colored clothes,
every day.
Try to make yourself pretty, dress well, because your body will be happy and your aura is sparkling.
So is it like an interconnect? Is it a two-way communication?
Yeah, there's an energy coming out of your body, and simultaneously there is an energy going into your body,
Yes.
and there's an energy coming out of your body. And this energy that's going into your body is what you're sharing with yourself. The energy that's going out of your body, you have the ability to share it with others. with your home, with the people that you live with your neighborhood, with the city, with the society, with the country, and sometimes impacting the continent and the planet. So,
So I think there's a perfect question here by Sakshi who asks that Ma, sometimes we become worrisome by listening to someone's negative experiences. So that person is obviously I'm just connecting it to what you're sharing, Ma, that we have the if we have the ability to share from our body and our mind, then others are also sharing with us. Is that correct?
yes,
So I
absolutely.
think she asks that, when we listen to someone's negative experiences, how can we then create positivity and hope within us and the person who is sharing his or her worries with us? So I think, Sakshi, that you haven't been attuned to healing yet. So the only answer to this is healing. And by not becoming a vibrational, when we sing, we have a tuning fork. So don't
Yeah,
become a tuning fork and become
to other
attuned
people's
to other
pain.
people's pain. You be the positive tuning fork that they can absorb your positivity. So that's what you have to work on. If you aren't positive yourself, then you will, it isn't their negativity that's making
It's
you
your
negative,
own.
it's your own actually. Yes,
So
that's what
I
is.
want to add here that
Yes.
today I was having a conversation with somebody and they were telling me that, oh, we are so terrified of the COVID. So I told them that no, you just have to, build on your own resources, eat well and be careful, wear the mask, and things are getting better, and, get vaccinated. So then they said, oh, in April, there was such a bad episode, April, May, June, there was such a bad episode of COVID in Delhi that we just turned off the TV. We didn't want to listen to any negative news and we were, in so much of pain. So then I looked and I saw that they were actually, just by switching off the TV, they were multiplying their pain.
Oh.
And because in the TV, they would have got some news that the government has implemented the situations in the hospitals are getting better. People, there's oxygen coming into Delhi. And so there were also positive things that were happening simultaneously, and people were helping and helping and helping unknown strangers. So sometimes you will just take one information and you'll start multiplying it. It's like you'll start speaking to yourself and you're not really listening. So when we are really listening, so I told them that, a good way, even if you're not connected to healing, is that you're feeling bad about something, you can just send a good positive affirmation to that situation. Just pray for the government, pray for the families, pray for the individual, and you will make a difference. Because sometimes you're just generating that fear and anxiety, and you're actually murdering your loved ones by giving them an overload of negative energy that is not in their aura but it's coming from you and you're dumping on them. So you have to be really careful.
And sometimes in that dumping, could it be that we think we're doing some really great,
Great.
positive social service?
Yes.
Yes. So we have to be careful about how we express our, I think, concern
Thoughts and concerns.
thoughts
Can I
and
give a
concerns.
very simple example?
Yes, yes, please,
A very
ma'am.
simple example is that if somebody has had a bypass surgery and you have 3 people visiting him one by one, do you know that all 3 will tell the other person, will not listen to what the other person's feeling, but will be speaking about their own pain? And they will, say that this is very bad and this is how. And most of the stories will end in death. So they're prophesying or terrorizing the person by sharing stories that, this one my neighbor had or I had, and then, I was so sick and I almost died and that person died and this happened. Even in dengue now, when there's so much of widespread, people getting afflicted by dengue, people will go in there and say, oh, my neighbor got dengue and he died. And they'll start terrorizing the people, and they are really needing the energy to fight that and to strengthen their blood and then to come back home with the platelets in balance and their body in a survival mode. So it's also the same when somebody dies. people will go there to pay their condolences, but they will start talking about their own pain and their own anguish and their own bereavements from the past, and they will overload the person, not with saying that we love you, we are here, can we do something, and it's just showing solidarity and strength, and not telling their own stories of defame and misfortune. I think people out of nervousness do that, or like, I don't know why I have to say this, that they're mentally not all there, that they're not reflecting and listening to what they're speaking.
Maybe they're unaware of the social cues, and
yeah.
they're just functioning from
And
a
they don't
space of
un-
ignorance or
Yeah, and
not
they don't
understanding.
understand that they are dumping on the other person not their good energy, but
So
their
they are
bad
thinking that they are
energy.
doing something very humdard, like
Ah.
like you know, how would you say, like
Solidarity.
solidarity, like giving solace, but they
They're
are
actually doing completely the opposite in the energy
giving
field.
suffering instead
Yeah.
of solace. Okay, I think we all need to be aware of that, Ma. I think
Yes,
because
yes.
I really do. Not think, but I can connect to many such situations
Patience.
where I have, seen people, interact in
Yeah.
such a way. And maybe when I was younger and I was thinking back to that, I lost a lot of my friends in my teenage years, there for many, many, someone had cancer and in school, when I was in school and college. And so I think initially, like all of us would go and we really would just talk what I would now consider, with this wisdom that you're sharing, nonsense. And we should have not spoken
At all, silence
Yeah.
is bliss.
Science is bliss. So we should not have said, we should have maybe just said our heart with our silence rather than
Yeah.
speaking with the chattering to fill up
The
silence,
silence.
because we were awkward
Nervous.
and we were young. So yes, I forgive that young self, but now this is
You
really
know better.
know better and heal better. Yes.
And stand tall and,
stand
share
tall.
the strength.
Yes, so really grateful, Ma. And then we have Binu Lad, who's joining us.
Hello.
She says, Pranam Ma, thank you for sending healing to my father during the last collective. He is back to good health. Gratitude always.
Oh, so sweet.
So we continue to send him lots of love and
And to
healing,
you.
and to you. And Parul says, thank you so much, ma'am, for this valuable information. Welcome for the fruit and vegetable
Yeah, I
list.
was just thinking that if you have to cook a meal for your family and you want them to have all the chakras activated, so try and make all the colors possible. So if you
I
make,
forgot carrots.
yeah,
I just
I did
realized
spoke about
you did
it. Karen.
say carrots, Ma. Yes.
So if you make matar alus, which is potatoes and peas, so you're already taking care of the heart and the
White element.
white element of the navel, and then you put it into a tomato sauce. So then that's already taking care of the red and the orange and the root chakra and the hara. Then you're serving either chapati or rice with it. So you're already taking care of the golden light for your solar plexus. Or again, the navel, the rice, and if you put a little bit of haldi in it, it's going to take care of the solar plexus.
And what about if we use black rice or brown rice or red rice? Then it's
All
all different
chakras
are getting all good
activated.
things.
Good,
Yeah,
good.
things.
And the brown rice is resonating with the purple light at the third eye chakra, so it's very good and very health inducing. And then you can have some purple leaves, or you can have, beetroot salad, or you can have some, what would it be? Little bit of sugar in the vegetable preparation, or some pumpkin. Yellow is also in the pumpkin, and orange pumpkin. We have both the colors.
Yes, ma'am.
So you can activate. So you have a complete energy, and you can have some onions. Onions are purple and from the crown chakra and the third eye. So see, in just a simple meal like that, you have all the colors of all the chakras. So don't overthink it. Just be well prepared. Supposing you took a few spinach leaves and you took, a tomato, and you took some ghee, which is what, water gourd,
Yes, it's a water god.
and you put a few beans in it, and one onion, little piece of garlic, and some ginger, and you put little bit of ghee or butter, and you made it into a very nice broth, then you would have all the colors. And then you can have capsicum, all the 3 colored capsicums with carrot and cucumber and tomato and onion, and make a nice salad, and that's got all the colors of the rainbow. So be
Wow.
appropriate.
So yeah, so we have Mitali. Hello Mitali. She says, what about spinach and loki soup? Is that a good idea?
Yeah, very good. It's for the heart and the navel, and it always restores great health.
So the
Broccoli as
nutrition of the
well.
5 elements and that those 5 elements encompassed in our food are very
Constantly.
vital in feeding not just our body but also our aura body.
Yeah.
Wow. So when the body perishes, what is the energy that the aura body is functioning with, or the aura body also dissipates?
No, the aura body is the fuel. You know, when there's
A rocket or a
rocket
jet?
going into space,
Yes, ma'am.
it has a lot of fuel and ammunition, and they light it up, and there's a lot of fire, and it lifts up.
Yes.
So I always see that in the aura body, when somebody is passing away, it's like a parachute. You're parachuting with your billowing in the air, and you're going from place to place and saying things and doing things and eating and laughing and drinking and sleeping and continuing with your purpose of life. So when the person dies, it's like the parachute, the aura body is like a parachute, just flops down, and that energy which is in the parachute is actually consolidated and becomes the fuel for the soul, the mind, and the ego self to travel to the divine spheres.
Wow.
So all the energy, even
So
at
it transforms.
the end of,
It transforms. Oh, that's beautiful.
and helps you
Wow.
to become. That's why they say that souls choose their point of exit when they
Exit.
know that they will have enough fuel in the aura body to ascend
Mm-hmm.
into the highest place of nectarian bliss, where they can be
Yes.
in service to the divine.
Yes. Wow. That is really quite a visual. And then we have Sahiba Garg who's joining in, who's saying
Hello.
today is World Mental Health Day. Yes, Sahiba, we did honor and cover that. And, if you have a question regarding anything,
We'll
do
be
message
happy.
us on the chat and I'll be happy to communicate it. And then we have Asha Soni who says pranama and she's joining in and she's requesting healing for her
For her
parents, her
parents.
family, her sister's family, and her daughter Lalima.
Okay, lovely.
And I think a lot of people are maybe typing in and there's some typo, so I'm assuming that Asha's question is that in Navratri, do we have to chant?
Yes, of course.
If you are
If
in that
you are in
tradition,
that
obviously someone
tradition,
who's maybe Catholic or Jewish is not
Oh,
following a Navratri process. So it just depends if you are,
Vedic.
Vedic and you are a Sanatan Dharmi and you are keeping the Navratri fast, so you have a mandir in your home, then chanting is definitely very, very important. And Santosh Auntie joins in, sending love.
Hello.
Lots of love to you as well. And I'm just scrolling. Yes. So we have Ashish Bhatia who asks that Ma, does Phool Makhanas, lotus seeds, have a lot of nutrition
Yeah.
needed? Or do they have sufficient nutrition needed? I'm assuming is the question.
They have a lot of energy, vital energy of the goddess Lakshmi, and because it's the lotus seed, the lotus, the amalgamated energy to give birth to a lotus plant, and it has very, very high nutritional value of protein and calcium and some very essential minerals that are very good for the human body. And people do eat them in the fast.
In the fast and all year round.
All year round, yeah.
Abroad they call them fox nuts.
Fox nuts.
Yes. And we have Ashwin Nagaraj. Hello. He says, what is a good mantra to chant if we have not been initiated by a guru?
You can chant Om and the Gayatri mantra, which is very important. And we can chant,
Chant it now with you. So we can chant Om 3 times and the Gayatri Mantra
7
7
times. And
times.
Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
Mahamantra is, so these are all very safe, auspicious mantras
non-initiated.
for non-initiated people by the Guru. Yes.
So let's chant.
Yes, Ma.
तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Those are three very good mantras to begin your spiritual
Life and
initiated
practice, yes. So this is for Ashwin, who's asked this very beautiful question, and for everyone else who's tuning in. So each of these mantras, at a bare minimum, you can chant each of them 3 times daily to begin your own spiritual practice, and then you can raise it to 7 times each, 11 times, 21 times, and then 108 each.
Many times.
Many times. So
After
start
you-
with 3. Yes.
Yeah.
Start with 3 Oms, 3 Gayatri mantras, and 3 Maha mantras.
Very
That's
good.
always a great place to begin. And we have. I am just scrolling for some wonderful questions.
Okay.
Yes, so we have some Navratri related
Oh,
questions.
wow.
So we
So
can always
sweet.
change the flavor as
And we can see what's happening with
in
them
the aura with
aura.
the aura. Yes. So we have a question that says that should one eat garlic? How does it help? During Navratri, we are not eating onion and garlic. What is the significance of this, Ma?
Garlic is a very, very important spice or, activator of health. People eat garlic pearls and all, and they're supposed to, it's just supposed to rejuvenate the heart and the skin and all kinds of internal organs. So it's a detoxifier, and at the same time, it increases the fire in the body, the fire of digestion, the fire of illumination, and the fire of your speech and your consciousness. And so, why do we? And it makes you sexually very, very active.
Okay.
So in the Navratri, you're supposed to abstain from any excitement of that sort, and you're supposed to be in humble devotion. So I think the onion and the garlic are both very, very intrinsically linked.
Fiery or
Fiery
tamasic
and
foods, yes.
Tamasic foods, and so you are advised to stay away from them, just like meat and fish and so many
Alcohol
other.
and other things
Yeah.
during this time. If, of course, one is observing Navratri,
Yeah.
this is not for everyone on the planet. Yes, but the science of the energy principle of abstaining from these foods, as Ma has beautifully described for us, is to attune our body more towards sattva or the light element, and just by not eating these masalas and this onion and this garlic and the wheat and the rice, your digestive system, even at a
System is
physical level, becomes so light
rejuvenated.
and rejuvenated. So you are then, I guess, have a larger propensity to meditate on the divine, in this case, the Divine Mother, rather than meditating on what burger, pizza, or mutton curry and rice you want to have for lunch.
Yeah, and also to
dinner.
add here that the garlic has got a little soft yellow energy. So it does activate your solar plexus and hunger for more and more. So whether it's
Yes.
food, whether it's sex, whether it's money. So all those, it activates and inflames that chakra of desire. So you don't want that desire to be so activated. And the onion rings are definitely impacting your third eye chakra and making you think of that desire and how to. So it's like a meditative process which is going in and out of the same loop. And so it's a good thing to sometimes abstain from these inflammatory things. And I have seen that when we do eat the garlic and the onions and things, that in the aura body, there is a very subtle, sensuous energy that starts developing. So you are also attracting the opposite sex towards yourself.
Or
So,
whichever sex you are
sex,
attracted to.
yeah.
Yeah, so it could
Yeah,
depending.
depending on intimate interaction
So
with
whatever is your idea of an
of
intimate partner, then you're attracting
attracting that,
that through that like
like
attracts like.
attracts like,
So when they are
and
resonating,
yeah,
with desiring you, then you are also
yeah,
resonating. Oh, that's
it's
very
like an
fascinating.
aphrodisiac.
Okay, and so sometimes could it lead to unwanted
Sexual desires.
sexual desires and advances maybe from
Yes,
other
yes,
people?
yes, from other people as well.
So this is not just a caveat, guys. Is not to get scared and avoid these
No, no,
foods.
no,
It's
it's
just
healthy.
just an information that
Yeah.
is also happening. So how can we transform this sensual energy into creative energy with
By learning an instrument, by painting, by singing, by dancing, by
writing?
writing,
Oh
by
wow.
interacting, speaking, working hard in your office, doing your work well. You could create this energy into a very subtle promoter for doing
Learning.
better and better.
Okay, wow. And then we have Varun C303. Hello, Varun. And he asks a very, I think, pertinent question. Because I would say that 95% of people who do keep Navratri, at least in the north of India, do have coffee and tea during Navratri. So he
Yes.
asks that is coffee and tea to be avoided too because they are also
Yes,
tamasic?
yes, yes, they should
They
be
should be
avoided for
avoided.
sure. People used to drink adrak and tulsi ka pani. And
Or just honey
I
water.
remember that for many years, I only had 2 cloves with one big lota of water first thing in the morning, and then I fasted for 9 days. So, it depends on how strict you are with yourself. So you can decide what you want
Yes, because
to
I think
avoid.
to Sakshi and Varun's question, if I'm thinking about it, that there are so many families who are hardcore meat eaters that during this time they just become vegetarian. Like
And
they
they
don't,
also do
and they
great.
also do great bhakti
And
and
transformation of their aura.
transformation and of their aura. So that is what I really want to ask, that yes, the food is a great tool to assist us, like it's a physical tool, the same way that if I want to get to the market, I will get in, or I'll use public transportation to get. So it's a utility. So the food has a utilitarian purpose, I
In,
guess, or an impact.
impact.
And so when we're weighing, because you just made a very interesting statement that those people who are eating what would be considered like the tamasic, or they're not fasting, let's say that they're not fasting, but they are feasting with the mantras and the energies and the meditation and the healing and connecting to the divine mother. And then, like you just said, that there's such a transformation in their aura. So can you give us like what is actually, how is that happening?
Anything that you change about, in devotion, you sacrifice something that you're doing on a daily basis in these 9 days, will give you her grace, because she is looking at every one of us as her children, and she's saying, okay, so this one's really making an effort, this one's abstaining from meat and fish and onion and garlic, and they're just vegetarian. But when people fast and they're very strict, I feel that.
Ma'am, that is such an important point. I'm going to request you to repeat it because, again, we had like a lovely buffer. So, when
Okay,
people fast, very strict, you said.
that they have a sense of great, false identification or ego.
So,
That
arrogance, ma'am?
arrogance.
Oh, wow.
And it's very distasteful for the people around, because they'll be showing off that I don't eat this. Oh, that's not a fast. Why are you eating that? But the reality is that it's your own consciousness that is inviting the universal energies. And remember that the universal energies are coming from your crown chakra. And your crown chakra is very dependent on your humility and your submission of accepting the grace of the goddess. And she is, it's like a magnetic force. Depending on how well prepared you are, you will receive. The second part of it is that when you are in a very humble situation or of the seed of devotion has been activated, your aura really grows to receive. It's like I could have a cup to fill, somebody else could have a bowl, then somebody could have a bathtub, somebody could have a pond in their aura to fill. So, depending on how much we have prepared in that aspect of our spiritual life, and sometimes just chanting mantras and sometimes just chanting mantras and saying that I'm not eating this and I'm not eating that and this is bad and that is so, and you're so bad, you're drinking tea and coffee and this and that and Coca-Cola, it's like so bad, why are you drinking it? But the reality is that if you're drinking it with acceptance as a gift from her, then you can be, blessed. And I know that in some temples that are Sakshat Shakti Peeths, they will sacrifice.
Yes, ma'am, a goat or a
Goat.
buffalo at the end of the Navratri.
And they will give you some alcohol also as
Also as
Mahaprasad.
Charnamrit, like
Yeah.
the Charnamrit is alcohol, and even if you are vegetarian and you go there, you have to eat like a few grains of
Or
the
even a lick.
rice,
Yeah.
or because it is considered to be the Bali of Mahikasura,
Mahasura,
the demon
yeah.
king that she has vanquished, and so that is honoring her light and her
her
presence,
blessings,
her
and for
blessings.
vanquishing all the demons within you.
Yes.
And what is the biggest demon in the human mind is the false ego, false identification. Even the idea that it comes that I'm a great devotee, your aura is already shrunk a little bit.
Oh my God! Wow.
So you always have to be in service to spread the light. Remember, I said there's a light going in
And
a
it's a
light going
coming
out, and the light coming down, and the light going out from your heart is very, very important.
So we have to be more concerned about our thoughts and
what-
our
not
loving
the
actions
speaking, but
and
the saying.
the saying. That what are we really saying through our actions? That are we saying connected, like you said, to the sacred sacrifice? That for someone who maybe drinks wine every day, or like socially, for them to give up that wine during this
This
Navratri
period
could be
is
far greater than someone who's already eating sattvic food every day.
every day, yeah.
So they have to then maybe do something that is beyond their ego, really. I think that is a really awakening
And should I tell you
moment.
another thing? That
Yes,
there are
please.
some people who are always meditating on what they're going to eat, what they're going to cook. And they're not surrendered to just eating something simple, right? So if you are meditating more, when you are fasting, in the fasting, you're preparing and saying, okay, I'm going to cook this, I'm going to cook that, I'm going to do like this, I'll buy this fruit, and you're just
Meditating on what you're going to
meditating
eat.
on what you're going to, not what you're going to offer to the goddess or in prayer, but what you're going to offer to your body in the excuse that this is the fasting time. In fact, I was talking to Ashwini, who is, we were talking about all the different Haldirams and the Bikaner Walas and all, and we were discussing that during the Navratri, their sales go up maybe 3 to 5 times because so many people are thronging to their places to eat the Navratri thalis.
Yes.
Because people are not wanting to cook. And on a
And they've
good
made
day,
it so exotic, I think, that those things you cannot easily make in the house, but they've
So
made
they
it
tempt.
accessible.
Yeah.
And so it's, I know a lot of people who are not fasting,
But
they will have the
Navratri
Navratri thali from a Haldiram or a Bikaner wala because it's very different and very flavorful
Even the
and
five-star
exciting. Even
hotels
5-star
and
hotels have Navratri
Sagar
thalis.
Ratna, all these places are doing some exotic
Exotic
food to
foods.
tempt the palate. Now, is that
Yes.
fasting? We don't know.
I think if it's like, ma'am, from what you've just said, that if it's in devotion and it's in a gratefulness of receiving, then yes. But if it's in a meditation of bhook lag rahi hai, or I'm really hungry and I have to get that food, then no, it's maybe not. Yes, Mitali is saying yes, it's very tempting. Yeah, it definitely is delicious and tempting.
Hmm.
And then we had a question at the beginning of the session
Hmm.
um, by Anubha, who said that, ma'am, does the aura have different colors? And ma'am, you mentioned it a little bit with the Kirlian photography. So as we're thinking, as we're doing certain actions, like if I'm lifting this glass and drinking water, or I'm touching this lovely orange bottle,
Hmm.
there a transfer of color
Yes.
just by touch and
Touch
thought
and
and
thought, and in a room, if you're sitting in a room which has blue walls, then you are being touched with that blue, caressed with that blue energy. And if you're sitting in that blue room and eating a pomegranate, then your third eye chakra and your root chakra are getting activated, because it is the purple light and the red light. And if you're eating from a white plate or a brown plate or a pink plate, depending, that energy is also impregnating your energy field, your aura field. Now, how long it's going to stay there is completely dependent on how much you interacted. If you didn't even notice that the plate was pink,
then
then
it's like a
no.
flicker of a
Yeah,
nanosecond or a
yeah.
micro
Mini,
nano,
mini, mini,
many
mini.
nanoseconds.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And if you say, oh, what a beautiful, supposing you make coffee,
Yes.
and the coffee comes on a maroon tray.
Yes.
So you are activating your toe chakras and your root chakra. And now the cups have got a purple base and they have a peacock with gold, and then you're sipping from it. So you are healing your energies of beauty and grace, and maybe diluting some of the arrogance, the strutting peacock, they say
Oh,
is a little bit.
wow.
So just by drinking that cup of coffee, you've healed so many aspects of yourself unknowingly.
That is really fascinating.
But the universe is collaborating all the
Collaborating.
time.
That collaboration is really fascinating, Ma. Every Sunday Collective, you reveal a little, peekaboo into to use your phrase, into just what is happening unbeknownst to us, and that actually the universe and the elements and the world outside, even the people outside, all of humanity, and of course, Mother Earth, is a very wanting to be collaborative and balanced and harmonious and friendly, and it's our own internal strife or war or disbalance that then resonates and
And
creates
creates
these
ripples,
ripples of
like an ocean wave
like an
of
ocean
disruption.
wave of disruption. That's beautifully put, Ma.
Mm.
So, what can we do as healers, as humanity, going forward into this week that is going to culminate with the Shera
Hmm.
on the 15th?
Hmm.
So, as we journey through these Navratris, is there anything special that we can do to really enhance this fuel resource of our Pranmay Kosh, of our aura?
Yes. You can always be very respectful to the soap and the towel and the water, your bathroom or shower stand, and they will constantly be collaborating with you to give you a nice, refreshing feeling. And in that bathing, you are getting rid of all the negative energies in your aura body. So I always tell people that spend enough time in the shower so that you have. Just stayed in that flow of the water, just to meditate on, what participating with. So I do know that there are bathroom singers, some people will sing some old romantic songs, some people will sing mantras, some people will just hum a tune, whistle. I know some people who do whistling practice. So basically, it's not so much, of course, the words and the mantras will have a different resonance, but just the fact that you're opening your throat chakra to the water element means that you are inviting a clearer speech. You are going to be saying things to people that are going to be relevant, and they're going to be heard by, and people will listen to what you have to say. And finally, it's about letting every part of your body partake of that beautiful descent of grace which is like water is like the platinum light that is received at the top of our head. So it's a great, great, great cleanse moment, and we should participate in it.
Wow.
Because even when people go for a cremation or a burial and all, there is a tradition that you come home and you bathe because you've been in, the concept is that you've been a little bit contaminated by the energies of your surroundings. So even the energies of death can be washed away by water. What to speak of other energies? So, even if you're feeling some distaste or you're feeling some anger, you're feeling some self hate, you're feeling some hate against somebody. So, or even greedy, even unhappy that you have lack of something, all that can be washed away, and you can have higher purpose and new thoughts of how you can create your good fortune. And then gives you your feet chakras have the impetus to walk to your new destination, because water from the top of your body is cascading and falling at your feet, and they are also being cleansed.
Wow. And so, ma'am, we're at 6:26 p.m. local time here in India, and as we do have a Navratri meditation that we are going to be ending in another 4 to 10 minutes. We're going to be just ending a little bit earlier than the 7 p.m. mark. So just wanting to thank you for always being here, giving us your time and giving us access to all this knowledge and information. And I know I am listening always very, very carefully to what you say.
Oh, wow.
And
learned.
yes, I've learned, and to really implement changed action that then resonates in not only healing myself but the people that I live with, my friends, my loved ones, my circle of this
tell
collective
me what
family.
You ate today, Divya. Let me hear what
did
the
I
colors
eat?
you eat
I
today.
had a very fantastic feast today. As someone had sent very kindly all these yummy things that someone had cooked sagudana ka khichdi, someone had cooked lauki ki curry in coconut milk. So I only eat one cucumber, sorry, not lauki, yes, cucumber. So I only eat one meal for those people who are listening in. So I am fasting and I eat vrat ka khana, and I eat one meal, and then in the morning if I'm hungry I have fruit and nuts and dates, and in the evening I have milk.
Oh, wonderful. Very nice.
So I, as far as the fruits are concerned, I had mango, and I had orange, and I had red grapes, and I had kiwi, and I had a banana, and I had
that's a lot of fruit.
Yes, and I had soaked almonds.
You shared with others.
Yeah, I shared with others. This is just not me eating all of this, but I had like two pieces of all these lovely fruits. And I had
you've
almonds.
had all the colors of the rainbow.
Yes, I've had all the colors of the rainbow. And I had sagudana khichdi, and like I said, the cucumber and coconut milk, which was very white and very, I'm thinking now, really activated the navel chakra
and the heart,
and some yams and like arbi and shakarkandi.
Nice.
So that's what I had, ma'am.
Lovely.
Yes. So is that good?
Yeah, good, complete. You have all the energies in your aura, and they're looking really. And did you share with other people?
Of course, yes, I shared with other people.
Oh,
yes.
Nice.
And so just waiting if anyone has any other question regarding the aura. And of course, all the healing requests have been noted down, especially Preeti, Asha Soni, Preeti Arora for her son, I think, who's going off to Canada, Mamta Dhingra, Fozia, and there were a few other people who I have lost track of, but we're talking of sending healing to Aryan Khan, I think is his name. Yes. And the situation. So yes, sending healing to all those who are in similar situations, to all the healing requests that have been shared here. So yes, so we have about a minute to 6:30, and we will be ending soon. So Ma, just requesting if you could lead us in some, just some glorification of the Devi as we conclude today.
So we just chant the the basic mantra of. So just gently close your eyes, connect to your breath, and as you breathe in and out, think of the presence of all divinity, whatever you believe in, taking your awareness to the top of your head and see a golden light just like honey gently pouring and sliding down over your face, your head, your shoulders, arms. It's very slow, just keep the vision, and the intention is that it should get to the bottom of your feet, healing you completely. And while we visualize this, we will chant together. Om Aing Ring Kling Chamundai Vichai. 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 Love you all.
Love you, Ma. Love to everyone joining in. So we're signing off a bit early as it's Navratri, and wishing you all a lot of auspiciousness, light, blessings, and protection from the Mother Divine as she descends onto planet
See
Earth.
you next Sunday.
See you next Sunday. Jai Mata Di.
Jai Mata Di. Love you.